The Anunnaki, when you look up Anu being the king of the Anunnaki,
Mm-hmm.
all right? In Egypt, he's not called Anu. He's called An, A-N,
A-N.
right? Or they call him Ani, A-N-N-I, right? So a lot of us get that mixed up because we don't know what the Egyptian equivalents to the Sumerian information is. It's telling the
Mm.
same story,
Okay.
just using different names.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I don't really like to talk about anything alien to Earth because most of us down here, we so busy focused on all of the shit in the stars, under the ground, flat Earth, round Earth, hollow Earth, all these different things, these paradigms, but we not paying on attention to what's going on in front of us.
Mm-hmm.
But you, we at a point now where you can not, I can't no longer not talk about Anunnaki,
Mm-hmm.
right? I can't leave that out. Um, a good young elder from the Nubians did a good expo on the Anunnaki the other day on his channel a couple days ago. And it's ironic that the same day I was listening to that, it's the same day you said, hey, why don't you come on my show, talk about the Anunnaki?
Mm-hmm.
So the Atlantians is the Earthborn. They call themselves the Earthborn,
Mm-hmm.
children of the stars.
Mm-hmm.
What that means is organically we emerge with Earth's creation. So our spirit is tied to the Earth spirit, right? So we talking Atlantean.
Mm-hmm.
And all of the souls on the Earth is a reflection of one of those stars in the sky, unless they don't belong here.
Mm-hmm.
All of our souls is accumulated light energy in an accumulated um, body form. The body itself is not even what people think it is. It's organic nanotech, right? So what we call DNA is it's called it's crystalline um amino acids that forms into a organic receiver of sorts. The physical body is not who we are. The Anunnaki knew this and the Atlanteans knew this. When the first Anunnaki came, his name was Ilya, or some say Iliu. When the first one came, the reason he came is he got exiled from Nibiru. He got exiled from Nibiru because he challenged Anu for the throne in hand-to-hand combat while he was the reigning king. Or Anu challenged him. However it was, in hand-to-hand combat, Anu won. Right? When he won, now Ilio got to go find his way and make his way outside. Like it's like you challenging Pops and you win. Right? So this get him kicked out. Now you got to get kicked out the house. Go out there and make your way in the world. Well, the world to them is galaxies and universes.
Mm.
So when you go in to make your way, you are going to try to establish somewhere where you can exercise your God force. The God force is your innate creativity, expression of the divine feminine Shakti creative force energy in the body.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd say that a couple times because a lot of people don't get the part that divine feminine is a feminine planet. You have masculine planets.
Mm-hmm.
Mars is a masculine planet. Jupiter is a masculine planet. Uranus is a masculine planet. Venus is a feminine planet. Mercury is a masculine planet. Right? The sun itself is what you call the great androgyny.
Mm.
It's neuter gender. It's gender neutral.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so It's what you call it's in the state of the now, permanent now. It's in the perpetual state of being in the now, right? So even though it looked like the sun rising and setting, the sun it ain't doing nothing. It's doing what it do far as emitting information. Each solar ray is emitting information, and it comes in on angles of light. And these are your light body angels, right? So every planet in the solar system, in any solar system, is under the protection of what you call the divine sun, S-U-N. The symbol for the divine sun in the human arena is something called a divine S-O-N, sun, which is the heir to join the family, mother line and father line, as a representation of both of them standing in what they call the balance. So now we're talking about Mott.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I tell everybody, don't take sides. When you review the information, don't take sides with the person, take sides with the information. Because if you take sides with people, people can mislead you.
Right, right.
Right? And when they mislead you, they put in their own spin on information. This is why you tell them to bring the receipts. So what we know mostly about the Anunnaki come from a couple of prime sources. We got Eric Von Däniken, we got Zechariah Sitchin. Those are the oldest two writers in the Occident meaning in the Eurocentric worldview. These are the main two. But there are others too. Like my man that wrote Fingerprints of the Gods. I forgot his name. But there's others. But biblically speaking, they're not called Anunnaki. In the Bible, they call Elohim. Right? Also in the Bible, they are called Nephilim. Right? And the Nephilim are the ones who came to earth. Right? So when they translate Nephilim, it say those who from heaven to earth came. Right? So now when you look at the word Anunnaki, Anu meaning the most exalted one, Na sent Ki to earth. Ki, Q-I, or Kai is earth.
It's earth.
Right? Anu sent them. That makes them Anunnaki. Species, you can't rely on one species. You got melanated ones like us. You got some of them that's like dark purple. You got some of them that's like heavy chocolate with heavy chocolate eyes that reflect like a hazel complexion behind the darkness. Then you have those that's not even, that don't have the same skin we do. We call them reptilians.
Would they look like?
All of them not reptilians. Some of the ones we call them reptilians are amphibians. Right? So this is where we start getting into it's because Nibiru is a planet that Earth can fit in about 8 times. It was once a star like our sun. Now it's called a brown dwarf. But it was a giant metallic star. But the Anunnaki was technologically enough advanced that when it became a brown dwarf, meaning a dead star, they knew how to use it and create a livable habitat on the interior. Right? So then they was able, now they can actually steer Nibiru. So when we looking at the ancient documents, we know that something happened when the Anunnaki came in force. The next to come after Iliu was the Inanna, which was the scientist and the birth maid. Well, we call in Egypt the Sa priestess. She was the highest of all Sa priestesses. Right? That gave her when she made the covenant between the Galactic Council to settle Earth, she also had to sync her DNA to Earth. When she do that, that physical vessel she inhabiting can no longer travel the stars the same, because if she dies somewhere, she's going to be drawn back here, right? Because she's synced to the Earth. This is one we call Aset in Egypt, right? She got other names too, like Inanna, Kalima. They're different aspects is how they draw. Now, the propaganda machine of the Anunnaki is simply to change the names of the gods that done it to the god that didn't do it, and you automatically confused because they can do that shit in the 1200s, but we won't get the information to 2020, right? So they didn't switch the name. Example, Marduk. Everybody think Marduk is Thoth's brother, what they call Ninigajita in the Sumerian tablets. Well, they half right, because Enki had a son named Marduk, but also his half brother Enlil had a son named Marduk. All right, now Enki and Inanna was the ones who was sent originally to Earth, and it was peaceful. It was peaceful interactions. But the gold wasn't reaching Nibiru in sufficient quantity or quality and fast enough for them to do the work that they had to do to save the planet. So Enlil means Lord of the Sky. When you see the word En, that means Lord. Lil means sky. Your Enki name, En means Lord. Kai means earth. He is the Lord of the earth. Right? So he was given that dominion, and he was having a blast down here. But they didn't have wars, wasn't here yet, like we come to know them. Mm-hmm. Like we had our personal I can manifest better than you wars. They call conjure wars today. But it's all about who can manifest the best life for the most people is the one who get the rule. Right? So whatever you doing on Earth, you can challenge the throne by fisticuffs. But when the leaders go up in age, they normally have a young fighter coming up with the same drive, what we call it, the same spirit. Right? He just like me, but he younger. Mm-hmm. Right? So and so they got rules. They believe in following the laws and the rules of galactic law over man law, over material law. When you say material law, people think you're talking about American jurisprudence. That's not material law. We know material law is the laws of physics. The laws of physics is the laws that governs the physical existence. Right? So once you understand the laws of physics, then you understand the laws that the Anunnaki follow and why they don't get two shits about what they legislate in D.C. Because we didn't either. We got tricked into all of that. So once the Anunnaki came and they started to mine the earth for the gold, right? They was using the what we call pygmies, the sign, the Twa, Tahites, depending on which culture they in. But they those little people that look like us that been on the earth in human form longer than even us. We've been here longer, but we wasn't in human form. We normally govern the 3D world from the fourth dimension astral matrix. And in the Anunnaki wars, you read about them in India as what they call the Brahmanas wars. And the text is called the Brahmana Sutras. Right? And the great what's that book called? Bhagavad Gita, where Arjuna is having a conversation with Lord Krishna. Right? And Lord Krishna is explaining to Arjuna why he see family members on opposite sides of the war.
What's up, everybody? Yo, one thing, y'all forgot something. Y'all, don't forget to visit the Awakening store. Hey, shh. I hear somebody coming. Okay, we good. Hey, one thing y'all need to do, y'all need to go and visit the Awakening store. If you want to lift your vibration up,